समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या? समझ में नहीं आया।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
The US Drug Enforcement Agency claims it has been able to establish ties between a plot to assassinate the Sikh separatist Gurpatwant Pannun and former research and analysis wing junior officer Vikash Yadav. If proven in court, that's because errors in tradecraft left a trail of digital breadcrumbs leading to hundreds of pages of documents which were carefully stored by Yadav in a private Gmail account. Papers released by prosecutors now show. Found in 2 Gmail accounts operated by Yadav, who's alleged to be the leader of the murder for hire operation, the documents include letters of employment, salary statements, employee records, tax filing returns, a passport, an election commission card, personal photographs, and even a credit card and a car loan application. Among the documents is also a personal resume which claims, not without irony, that Yadav's professional skills included, I quote, discipline, clear thinking, and being well aware of cybersecurity. But the material found in the 2 accounts US prosecutors have said will establish that the true identity of the Amanat, who it alleges worked with Nikhil Gupta, was in fact Yadav, and that Yadav was an employee of the government of India. According to the DEA's filings, Yadav contacted alleged drug dealer and money launderer Nikhil Gupta to carry out Pannun's murder for hire. We've looked at this in detail in the first part of this series. Nikhil ji began one WhatsApp message discovered by investigators. This is Vikash. Save my name as Aman. And Gupta did that. He saved the name as Amanat. A prosecution document records that development. Gupta duly saved Yadav as Amanat with a phone number ending in the digits 9645. Now, Gupta has been incarcerated since his arrest in the Czech Republic in June 2023 and subsequent extradition to the United States last June. His trial is expected to begin next month in March, according to court filings. Yadav has been dismissed from service in India and is being prosecuted on separate charges of kidnapping and extortion unconnected with the Pannu matter. Currently on bail, he is scheduled to periodically appear in a Delhi court. Advocate R.K. Handu, who represents Yadav in the Delhi police case, refused to comment on the disclosures made by US prosecutors, offering us only a God bless in response, which we're grateful for. Even if you don't want to talk to journalists, you can be polite to them, as Mr. Handu was. ThePrint also attempted to reach Gupta directly using a prepaid service for American prison inmates. He didn't respond to us there either. Of course, we'll update this as we get more information. The Gmail accounts were a gift for the DEA. Its unexpected discovery of the murder plot's alleged links to the ex-RAW agent began with its investigation of a phone number used by Yadav to communicate over WhatsApp with Nikhil Gupta. That phone number, the 9645 number, was set up in 2023, and the same number was used to set up a pseudonymous Gmail account, only xxxx@gmail.com, which was supposedly dedicated to the Pannu operation. So this Gmail account set up in 23 just for the Pannu operation. Following a preliminary study of Gupta's phone after his arrest by the Federal Bureau of Investigation in May 24, Google was served with a warrant of information which it complied with and delivered all the data dutifully. The results of Google's study were delivered to the DEA in October 24. According to Google's findings, and this is where it becomes very serious, the account only xxxx@gmail.com was linked to a second account, Vikas0xxxx @gmail.com. Now, this Vikas0 account had been active since 2007 and was tied to a phone number ending with the digits 8758. The two accounts, though, access the internet from the same internet protocol account, which was used by only xxxx@gmail.com. The internet protocol addresses, and they're 103.92.41.180 and 103.92.41.28, were frequently accessed by both these Gmail addresses. It belongs to Exitel, a popular fiber optic internet provider in the Delhi National Capital Region. IP addresses, for those of us from a slightly older generation, are kind of digital identifiers which serve as addresses for all devices on a network. So every device on a network has a unique or should have a unique IP address. Seemingly, Yadav had been less than exacting in his separation of the two Gmail addresses. On several occasions, he's accidentally sent tax and salary related correspondence from the Pannu plot account, prosecution records further show. For example, prosecutors say Yadav used the only xxxx, the Pannu account, to communicate with Gupta to send him a photograph, images of a debit card, and his tax returns to another individual. From the second Gmail account, Vikas0 Gmail, investigators were rapidly able to assemble a picture of Yadav's relationship with RAW because he stored everything there. The earliest documents in that account show he had applied to the Aviation Research Center, which is RAW's image intelligence wing or sister organization, in response to an advertisement placed in the government publication Employment News in May 2012. This Gmail account included a copy of a signal, a wireless dispatch sent by Central Reserve Police Force headquarters in June 2012, saying the Cabinet Secretariat was seeking, I quote, direct recruitment of senior field officers in the junior executive cadre of RAW from among those who have been selected by the UPSC as assistant commandants in the Central Paramilitary Forces. Yadav obtained a Bachelor of Science degree from Maharishi Dayanand University in Rohtak and went on to obtain postgraduate qualifications in forensics from Punjab University in Chandigarh based on his biodata, which was where else but in that Gmail account. In 2007, he passed an examination administered by the Union Public Service Commission and joined the CRPF. Later, the Gmail document shows Yadav went on to serve as a company commander in the Central Reserve Police Force's 207 Cobra Battalion, a counter-Maoist commando force. A former senior national security official told ThePrint that the decision to recruit personnel from various services, central police organizations to the research and analysis wing was made by a 3-member committee led by the organization's then chief, Sanjeev Tripathi, who held the position from December 2010 to December 2012. Following his induction by the Cabinet Secretariat, Yadav was assigned to serve as a probationary senior field officer at the Aviation Research Center base in Charbatiya near Cuttack, a facility which was once used to fly image intelligence operations targeting China over Tibet in partnership with the US. Another long storied connection there, which we'll perhaps discuss one day. Less than 3 years after joining the Aviation Research Center, however, Yadav had to go to court because the Cabinet Secretariat held in 2017 that he was ineligible for recruitment in the first place. This complex dispute over service terms and conditions was finally settled in 2022 after the Cabinet Secretariat agreed to induct him and others from the CRPF on a permanent basis. This makes pretty clear he didn't always enjoy a cordial relationship with his bosses and even litigated against them. Yadav's alleged decision to use a commercial email service, and that too without the protection of privacy applications like a virtual private network, likely set him up for exposure. A Government of India policy issued in 2013, the very same year Yadav joined the Cabinet Secretariat, RAW's parent organization, prohibited the use of non-government email accounts. Now, large numbers of officers across the services have continued to operate personal email accounts, both for reasons of reliability, ease of use, and because they want to keep their personal communications separate from workplace communications. The lack of security in some commercial services like Gmail, though, has been known for a very long time. How do we know this? Because former Central Intelligence Agency Director David Petraeus was infamously forced to resign from his office in 2012 after Federal Bureau of Investigation's investigators discovered he was using a pseudonymous Gmail account to conduct an extramarital affair. The director of the CIA, no less. The FBI also investigated former United States Secretary of State Hillary Clinton after evidence emerged that she had stored classified information on personal email servers. Although the FBI cleared Clinton of wrongdoing, then FBI Director James Comey had said she had been, quote, extremely careless in handling a very sensitive, highly classified information. Even though Google says mail on its servers can never be read by staff, the company routinely scans and hands over stored data to police in response to legal requests. There's obviously some way that Google checks out email for advertising related data because that's how the company makes its money and is funded. This distinguishes it from some other services which claim they simply cannot decrypt communications between users because of the way their encryption system is set up. For example, Apple has repeatedly said its technology makes it impossible to share decrypted content with law enforcement. Swiss encrypted email provider Proton also claims it has no means to decrypt user content. Now, the most sensitive information at Research and Analysis Wing is held on so-called air-gapped system. The air gap means the device is completely cut off from the internet. But these are obviously of little use for field operations in a digital world. Lots of intelligence services have specialized digital tools for agents to communicate with their handlers, but RAW officials told us they didn't really have one of their own. There's also a school of thought that you're better off hiding amid the noise and communicating discreetly with commercial services, but using innocuous language. So anyone listening in just thinks it's a normal conversation. That needs discretion though. And Yadav clearly wasn't discreet. According to the prosecutors, Yadav contacted Gupta in May 2023 from the phone linked to the only XXXX Gmail account and informed him that there were, quote, multiple targets including one in New York, that's the victim, and another in California, and by references to addresses, at least one target in Nepal or Pakistan. This is the DEA's version. The DEA also alleges that Gupta in turn made contact with an informant for the New York Police Department who he had been in touch with for several years, as we discussed in the first episode. Gupta prosecutors claim had reached out to the informant, I quote from the DEA documents, in pursuit of international narcotics trafficking, weapons trafficking, money laundering, and credit card fraud transactions. All of this led to the arrest of Gupta during a trip to Prague in June 2023 and the recovery of 3 cell phones from his possession. The prosecutors say that on the basis of a judicial warrant, they discovered hundreds of WhatsApp messenger communications between Gupta and Yadav. Now, WhatsApp says it cannot make deleted messages available to law enforcement, but tools are believed to exist which enable such material to be extracted from phones. Individuals seeking to protect sensitive data like diplomats or intelligence officials are therefore advised not to carry their usual digital devices to locations where hostile entities like foreign intelligence services may have access to them. In the Gupta and Yadav messages, which span from 6 May 2023 to 29 June 2023, Gupta and Yadav, I quote from prosecution documents, planned the murder of the victim on a day-to-day basis. And how do they say this? From what was retrieved from the phones themselves. I'm Praveen Swami and I'm a contributing editor to The Print. Thank you for listening to this second episode of our very special investigation of the case involving the alleged attempt to murder a Khalistan separatist by individuals with links to India's intelligence services.